Good morning, everyone. It's Yvonne here from the Aussie Goddess to do your What's Cracking for Thursday, the 9th of January. I've tried doing this reading a few times this morning. I'm in a very vulnerable position this morning. Lots happened this week, and my poor heart is a little bit draggled from decisions I've made this week. But you know what? Sometimes you just have to do what's best for you. Today is the 9th of January, and I just want to concentrate on the energies for a moment. Get out of my own skin. I am using the Cosmic Tarot. I do want to say, though, that my journey, certainly, watching other readers, my journey is much the same as other people's at the moment. So there appears to be a lot of people moving. There appears to be a lot of movement around the place, a lot of cutting off, a lot of moving forward. So I'm not different to a lot of other people's experiences, and that's quite evident, especially when I'm doing personal readings. It blows me out. Blows me away. So let's see what's going on for today. I do have the Queen of Pentacles coming out first. Gee, these cards are getting grubby already. Look at that. Sweaty hands, I guess. Queen of Pentacles coming out. So some of you dealing with an earth sign. Some of you could be an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus or Virgo. The earth signs are people who are very structured, very strategic people. I laugh because sometimes when I say things on here, other people say they're just the same. And I think, yeah, we all come from somewhat a different mould. Although I'm a Capricorn, I'm a Libra moon. So I have a and I'm Scorpio rising, which means that I have, a lot of different attributes, but the part of the Capricorn that is really, actually I have my North Node in Scorpio too. So the Capricorn part of me is the part I sort of really can identify with. The list making and the organization, the structure, all those sort of things. But I guess some of them do have a bearing on your upbringing. The Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo person is this is sort of like a person you would consider to be more nurturing, more wifey, some of those things too. They're a little bit more caring, although they sort of have a focus on their money a little bit more. This is because they like the material pursuits and they want to be the provider. Behind that we have the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is a card of what I always call equal give and take. This isn't about being 50% each in a relationship, but certainly about the deeper love connection between two people, where two people are equally open to giving and receiving as a couple or as two people. Okay, I do have the Nine of Cups coming through here. So it looks like some of you are looking at some sort of relationship that perhaps you've been wishing for. Now, it may not be a particular relationship here. This could be something you're just wanting here, perhaps some sort of connection with someone, something that will bring you as much joy as you put in. And we do have the Wheel of Fortune. So what I want to say to you, for those who are waiting for love to come in, for those who are wanting a relationship to take off and move in a different direction, something is coming in for you here. I feel like perhaps you've moved away from situations recently that haven't been easy to walk away from, and perhaps some of you are sort of wanting something a little bit more aligned with what you think that you should receive. Okay, let's get some more information, shall we? Okay, Nine of Wands coming in. And the Nine of Wands is a card that talks of boundaries. It talks about setting healthy boundaries. It's about people who've gone through a lot of hurts who now need to understand that part of those hurts is perhaps because they haven't been perhaps real with people or true with people around what they require. It sort of calls that Six of Pentacles energy into play a little bit. It's like, I expect this from you and I will give you this in return. So that's boundaries, But there's also this sort of feeling here that you have to be especially careful when you're coming out of relationships that haven't served you and you've had bad experiences, that you don't take them forward with you. This is very much about understanding, you know, not to build prisons around yourself so you cannot enjoy something new. So I always think, you know, it's that love every time like it's the first time. You know, don't bring your baggage with you into other relationships. You can't hold people responsible for your own hurts and pains, no matter what they've caused. And you certainly can't expect that other people are going to be exactly the same as the people that hurt you. So it sort of seems very unfair to go into a relationship and expect in any way, shape or form. But to expect that a person gives back to you what you're investing, that's okay. Okay, so we have the Death card coming out next. Now, the Death card is the card of Scorpio, so you could be dealing with Scorpios here. But the Death card talks about transformation. It talks about going deep inside and really having a look at, you know, where you are, what you're doing, why you do what you do. But it's also about looking at your shadow side and being able to incorporate your shadow side within yourself. So it's very, very deep, deep sort of adaptation and movement here. And I feel like, okay, Two of Swords coming out here. So the Two of Swords talks about a decision. It's a stalemate, really, because it's a decision that you don't want to make. It's a decision you know is going to cause hurt and pain, but the decision has to be made. And I feel here that some of you have had to walk away from some sort of painful situation because of this Nine of Wands energy, maybe because of hurt and pain, maybe because you've realised that this hurt and pain is more than you can sort of work with at the moment. But there's definitely been this transformation. So maybe this has been self-motivated, especially with the Five of Swords showing up here. Seven of Cups. So the Seven of Cups is a card of confusion. So some of you have been confused by things, perhaps things that have set some sort of transformation off within you. I'm going to keep going with this. Oh, I like this. Thanks. Nice little bit of sunshine in our day here. We have absolute joy and happiness in the future coming via somebody who is very passionate, probably a fire sign or possibly a fire sign, and there's a fire sign. Okay, King of Wands here. So some of you have come out of the darkness and into the light here. Some of you have gone through a great deal of self-exploration, confusion, growth, understanding, in order to move forward. And now something's coming in for you here. So the Four of Pentacles is a card of holding on. And it's a card of not really understanding. Queen of Swords coming up here. It's a card of not always understanding what's holding you back or why you do the things you do. You know, sometimes with this Four of Pentacles, the things that we do may be very deep within us. They may be they may be part of who we are, but we may not understand that that part is perhaps no longer useful to us. That's why we're going through this transformation to sort of start to understand how to protect ourselves, how to look after ourselves, but also to be able to walk away from things here that no longer serve us. And I feel when I look at this row here that a lot of you have put in a good deal of work in understanding your own internal mechanics and why you do what you do. But there is a change coming through here, and this change is because you've released that energy. So for some of you who've been working very hard on understanding your own, I don't want to, I'm not all about, as you know, your limitations and what you didn't do right and what you did wrong. No, I don't do that. What I see here is people really understanding what's held them up from having the life they want, what's sort of stood in your way, what blockages have been here, what aspects of your shadow self have no longer served you. And I see people working very, very hard on that, trying to understand those inner mechanisms and, you know, the childhood truths and the things you were taught when you're young. A lot of transformation and a lot of healing in these cards. But it's like there's this sort of beautiful movement into something new here. And I feel like for a lot of you, there's been a lot of sort of light shone on what you were experiencing. So you've been able to bring some light to why this has been happening. If you haven't, then you'd still be stuck in this energy of wondering why life doesn't work out the way you want it, why you don't have what you want, because you're still stuck in that energy there. So this is about understanding that if you're not moving in a direction you want to, or things aren't coming in the way you want them to, then probably it's really good to do a bit of self-exploration to understand that. I mean, you can't just listen to a tarot card reading and hope things are going to change. It doesn't work that way. The universe wants you to put in the work to do that. And I feel like a lot of you have here, because there's sort of like almost like a change. And this sun is sort of showing that there's going to be some sort of communication here between you and someone else, you and a person. It could be a new person here. I don't see any reason why it has to be a person from your past. But there's someone coming in for you who's going to bring in some sort of joy and happiness that perhaps you didn't think that you were going to have or didn't think you deserved. And this is because you've learned to cut out and let those parts of you grow that perhaps you'd buried deep within yourself and didn't even realize were part of who you were. And you're able now to sort of be able to say, well, that part of me just doesn't serve me anymore, and I'm going to sort of discard that and move that on to the next part of my journey. It's a very deep reading, but I want to say to you, there's a beautiful flip turn here. Oh, I haven't put the last card out. That's significant. I was about to reach for an oracle card. There's a very big flip here, people. So for those of you who've been working hard, who've been doing the self-work, who've been doing self-exploration, meditation, counseling, whatever it is for you, there's a flip. And something beautiful is about to enter. Something that you've wanted, something you've created, possibly something that was waiting for you to get through this energy. Someone who could possibly be very passionate, very fiery, who's done their own work. So someone who's now vibrating at a similar level to you. And I still picked up the oracle cards. Oh, look at that. 3 of Pentacles, very beautiful. So there's something here that you can work on. Somebody is coming in for you here that will help you do some more work on yourself in theory. Someone who's going to come in and sort of walk with you on your path. Maybe that's what's happening here. I have 2 cards coming out here, so I'm going to take them, as I do. And I have the card of Come to the Edge and Co-Create. Oh, that's just stunning. Okay. I don't think I can. I probably need to have 2 of these little fellas here. These 2 cards, Come to the Edge. So that Come to the Edge is like taking a risk. It's about moving forward and being able to take that leap of faith, move into the future, knowing that what's coming for you is for you. And being able to take a risk on that and being able to, you know, enjoy what's being offered here by the universe because you've cleared away some of this energy here that's been holding you back. The Co-Create card is about working with the universe. So for some of you here, some of the shadow stuff that you've been doing is about your control. And when I talk about control, it's about you understanding that you're not a representation of, you know, what you expect others to see in you. You're standing in your truth. You're moving forward without trying to control your world, and accepting who you are, like learning who you are. When you see the Death card, this is about peeling back those layers and masks that some of you have worn because they're more comfortable for you to do that in the world. This is about, you know, cutting out things, moving away from things, putting your own needs in a place which is relevant to where you're moving, and clearing away this confusion. So you are now creating with the universe rather than fighting against what the universe is doing. So the universe is trying to wake you up to who you are and what you deserve in your life. You don't want to be fighting against that. So you can't control it. You have to flow, not fight. So beautiful reading today. Have a wonderful day, and yeah, love every time like it's the first time.